Rebel Force Radio presents
Star Wars Cantina.
Where are you going, Master?
For a drink.
Sorry about the mess.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Una puta solo.
We're here at Chicago Comic-Con with Greedo, the bounty hunter herself, Maria De Aragon. Now, I'm not saying your name the great way you say it. Let me hear you say your name.
Maria Teresa Monique De Aragon.
See, that's it.
No, it's Maria De Aragon. You said it perfectly.
Oh, De Aragon. Okay,
Yes.
it's Spanish.
Yes.
Spanish, but you live in Montreal now?
Yes.
Yes. Now, you were the infamous bounty hunter Greedo, along with Paul Blake, who also played Greedo.
Yes.
You played Greedo for the close-up shots, the pickup shots. Where was that filmed? Was that in California?
Yes, in a soundstage on La Brea Avenue.
Yeah, and so how did you get that role?
A friend of mine was a set designer, and they wanted to do some pickup shots in the desert with Mark Hamill and Anthony Daniels, C-3PO. And C-3PO was unavailable, so they asked a woman to do it because he's a very petite kind of person. He's not big-boned or, big man. And so a woman would fit his costume a lot easier. So my friend, who was the set designer, introduced the idea to me of studying him on film, language, mannerism, accent, of a soft voice. And so I studied him, and the morning of the shoot in the desert, I got a call about 6 o'clock in the morning, and they said that it was canceled because Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, had an accident on Mulholland, and his face, he was in the hospital, and it was quite serious. So they said, we'll let you know when we reschedule. And when they called me back, they said that they were going to skip what they thought they wanted and go around it in another way, but that I would be offered another part with another, my own character.
Right.
So I went and I got to see the costume that I would be wearing, which was a latex mask and no makeup, which was great.
Okay.
But, a lot of wire and duct tape in my neck, and needless to say, that latex, you can't breathe very well,
Right.
and a very small opening in the mouth with a straw to breathe.
Right.
So needless to say that at one point I needed oxygen. Everybody was aping, sort of making fun of their costume with their hands all over the place, making fun of themselves. And George Lucas noticed that I was in trouble, not really having a good time. So saved my life, so to speak. But it was later on that I learned that there was two of us. When I started doing conventions, someone came to see the convention in Philadelphia and brought a magazine out of New York, and there were two interviews, two different pages with two different people playing Greedo, and I was upset because I thought, well, the fans don't know that there were two Greedos, and it made me sad and kind of sorry for the fans, and I showed my displeasure, I guess, and or discontent, and it got back to the coordinator, and the coordinator says, just tell Maria that Darth Vader had 5. Not 2,
right.
but 5. And I said, oh, really? Okay, I'm fine, I'm good, I'll keep going. So I met Paul Blake, needless to say, later on, and we get along great, and I went to Manchester, and he came to America, and so today I signed something here, which was Maria De Aragon plus Paul Blake equals Greedo.
Oh, there you go. Plus Paul Blake equals Greedo. Okay.
Yes.
We'll be teaching that in Star Wars 101. What's funny, I'm looking at some of these photos that you have of behind the scenes. There's a picture of you and George. You're in the complete Greedo outfit, but you're wearing high heels.
I know. Did you see the other one with no mask?
That's a great shot too. Yeah, perfect. Now, the shot with you in the heels, Did they have you wear the heels because they wanted you a certain height, or that was just the only shoe wear you had?
I don't remember. I know the shoes very well. They were pink satin, but I just don't remember why I wore them that day.
It's just funny to see Greedo.
That's very clever. I mean, it could have had something to do with height. I don't know. But although I was sitting for most of the scene, it's like a round table, the Cantina, and Harrison Ford, gets rid of me. And
Yeah. Now
he shot first.
Of course. Okay. Now, let's get to that.
Yes.
Those changes were made for the special edition in '97, where all of a sudden now Greedo is taking shots. He's sitting as far away from Han Solo as I'm sitting from you, and he couldn't hit him.
Right.
How is that possible?
Well, not really. I don't know, possible, but it can happen, I suppose. The thing is that Harrison Ford had become a big star, and Maria De Aragon had not. So it was a lot easier to make what do you call it? Not a villain, but a victim into a villain rather than make the hero a killer. Wasn't. So George changed that around.
Right. Yeah.
I had no
didn't want Han to be so cold-blooded, but it's just something about the way he took out Greedo. Did you ever hear about any expanded universe stories about what happened to Greedo's body after everyone left?
No, not really.
Apparently,
I was glad to see a lot of little Greedos, like cousins and younger, littler,
True.
smarter.
But according to the expanded universe, the body of Greedo was taken and then, put into a blender and made into a drink for Jabba the Hutt. I'm not kidding you. It was in the book.
That must be a rumor, and I'm going to leave it at that.
It's in the book. It's in the book Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously the voice of Greedo was provided by Ben Burt, the sound wizard who did all the incredible sound design for the Star Wars saga.
Yes.
So that was not your voice. Were you saying anything under the mask?
No, because they wouldn't want a female voice at any rate, and it had subtitles. I was in the first film I think that's the only film that had subtitles, I'm pretty sure.
Do you do an impersonation of Greedo?
No.
Okay. Well, Maria, thank you so much for your contributions to Star Wars.
My pleasure.
It's just a pleasure to meet you. And enjoy the rest of your time in Chicago.
I'm thrilled that Star Wars contributed to my life, too.
There you go. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Česko kultura, Krista Krenko, jak Oscar.